Alright, so I'm going to be talking about fake presence today and why that's important in Valorant. So pretty much what fake presence is you give the illusion that there's like more numbers than there actually is in an area of the map. So this is both like applicable on offense and defense, and like you need to be doing this like consistently to make sure like your setup just isn't readable, right, on attack or defense. Alright, so I think bind is a pretty good example because this map is like for attackers, right? Like you gotta like know like what their setup is. Well, that's with any map, but like this map especially, since this is 4 lanes, and the defenders side they can't like focus on all 4 lanes at once. So if you see, for example, if you're trying to fight towards B, and you see like two here, you're gonna know that hookah is weak, like almost 100%. And same thing with A. If you come prod showers and you see a brim smoke and like a res a utility, you're gonna know that A short is weak. So then you can do the wall and smoke and walk up and stuff like that. So this is where like fake presence comes in, like in handy a lot, right? So if you fake one side of the map or like one lane, you can kind of guess that if they're not contesting it, they're going to be doing something on the other lane, the attackers. So so let's just say showers for example, right? Let's just say the first 3 rounds of defense, you're playing defense, and you're like fighting it. The first 2 to 3 rounds, you're fighting it. You're like letting them know that when we're showers, we're doing the smoke, and let's say we're chucking a nade off any like sound or utility from the attackers. Like you're letting them know that when these two sets of pieces of utility are there, that you're gonna be two showers. And once that's like conditioned into them, that's when like the fake presence comes, right? So you can start doing stuff like that where it's the fuck? You do the smoke and you can have maybe one because what the attackers would do is like, oh, the showers are too strong, we can't fight it. So the A shot's gonna be weak because of 2 showers, right? So they're gonna start walking up. So when the fake presence comes in, they see the smoke at the start of the round and they see the raise util, and then they're gonna be like, okay, let's walk up short because short's gonna be weak. But actually, the shower was fake presence, and you have a crossfire towards short. And we'll just do belong for example as well. Um, let's say the attacker default is this guy comes up, chucks a flash here. If it pops, like it should always pop, right? There should be always be someone like tanking the flash in the first second, just to like fake that there could be multiple people here. You don't want this flash like like not popped onto someone, but like you don't want to like back off as soon as it happens, right? You want to give them the illusion that you're still gonna be there. So like if they're actually come fight it, they flash, it pops, you don't run away. You can still like juggle it, and when they spot you juggling it, they'll be like one garden, like guaranteed. It could be another guy, it could be in this corner, etc., etc. But if you don't let's say it started around, you just fucking retake instantly because you're weak B. You're like, oh, let's just play retake B and play strong A. You don't cop the flash, they get this whole area for free, and then they have the um, option to just hit B instantly because they got one part of the map already. And let's say they're playing second tempo towards hookah, they're doing this, and they have the option to just drop the smokes and just go in, and this guy comes like second tempo when they're ready to crunch. So it just opens up a lot of like opportunities for the attackers if you're not giving fake presence, especially on the weaker side of the defense map. Unlike your weaker side, you don't want to be too readable with this, by the way, but you often want to give the illusion that your weak side is your strong side, right? So that way you kind of deter them from hitting your weak side, and you want them to hit your strong side, which is the 3A. So like how like just this is just one example, but like you want to be like tanking this flash from the attackers, and then just like continuously like prodding and jiggling the line, right? Until you spot multiple, or they use more util to force you away. And when you're actually forced away, because if you're showing yourself your body, then they're worried about like other stuff as well. So then they're gonna use like nade and then maybe like boombot and then they might even dog just to clear this. But if you tank the first flash, right, and then you're like, oh, okay, they know where I belong. I'm just gonna back now. Let's say they do another flash like mid round after they fight A, so attackers might come B and then go back to A and then go back to B. And when they come back to B mid round or late round and they flash and they see there's nothing here, or they walk up, contact up, there's nothing here, then they know B is gonna be weak. So if you don't give up, if they don't force you off the line, you should always be like prodding, like these kind of like long lines where you can just get away easily. So you just give off the fake illusion that you're strong on a side that you're not, or on a lane that you're not. And same thing with like hookah and etc. There's different ways you can play it, like smoke here, and just like leak like footsteps maybe, like a fake footstep, because that guy will probably come R1 in hookah, but it's just one like a fake footstep. Just like small plays like that could like change the whole outcome of the entire round. Alright, so I'm gonna talk about fake presence on attack now. So these are just rounds I just came up with in my head that you guys can use if you run this comp or whatever. But let's say you do 1-3-1, right? And your purpose of this round is to show garage, and then you want to hit A late round. Let's just say that. So what you do is you do 1-3-1, come up, and you want to break this alarm bot, right? And it's super important that you show that you're people there. You show breach, jet goes in, you show the jets in, maybe you could dart as well. You're just showing that you're heavy towards garage. After you break this, and after this guy darts A lobby and sees nothing, this should be like somewhat of like their setup, right? And then what you do is you come back here, and you would be worried about close here because you didn't do any A at the start of the round. You went mid instantly. Drone it out, clear close. Maybe this guy sees it, sees a lot of people. He starts falling back, and then you come hit A, right? And you just hit it. You just do the smokes, and then your breach does the utility, and then you hit the site. Okay, that is the first round. And the next round, or a few rounds after, however you want to call it, lead the rounds, is after that conditioning round, you just come over and you do the same thing, right? You come over, break the alarm bot, same sets of utility, whatever you use for that, and then you go quiet, and then you come back to A, and then you do the same drone, but this time it's fake presence, right? You do the drone, and then you'd have people peek with it, and this guy'd be like, it's the same round as the other round, and then he'll back, and then people are rotating. And the previous round, how I had 3A long and 2A short, I don't think a lot of people know this, but I'm just gonna like juice it now. But the 2 people short are running, and the 3 people long were running as well. But this round, since you're doing the fake, let's just have, I don't know, two or 3 people here. The 2 people short would still be running, but these guys rotating, they can't tell if the long guys are running. You know why? Because the radius, the running radius, is not in range of A-Link if you hug this wall. So they won't be able to tell if it's actually 5 people or just 2 people like last time. So that's an example of like fake presence. And then you still do the smokes, right? And then you still come fucking stun it, flash it, jet dash and but you're going C. So like if you're a caller and you know like how the map works, right? So when you do B, and then they get info on the other side and there's no one there, they'll be leaning towards the side where you get info. So that's when you know like, and on average a team would always just leave one here and just juggle. So that's when you know like this, most likely, more than not, there's not going to be anyone like around here. Maybe they will if there's like an AWP or like they're on a low money round where they have judge. But like you can make like calculated gambles based off that, and then base your like fake presence rounds off of that. And like I just talked about like a lot of macro stuff, like macro level fake presence, and like forcing the enemy like as a group to do stuff based off like how you want them to move. But like as a player by yourself, whether you like playing comp or like in your team, you gotta be like thinking of stuff like this as well. For example, let's say you guys usually do A pressure on A. You're an Omen player and you do this smoke, come TP up here, and let's say they start knowing that. They start knowing that whenever you come, let's say you have Neon Omen, let's just say that, and you go stun and then you smoke and you TP and they hear the TP. They know you're like heavy A, right? So stuff you can do on a micro level if you're their own Omen is you have to like switch your stuff up, switch your playstyle up like every few rounds, just to like keep them off like catch them off guard with stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can't be just doing the same round, same thing every time with the TP. You can do this and the stun as well, and then the Neon would instantly be sprinting towards C, and you do like a fake TP where you like jump forward and land, and they'd hear you land, and then you come back and TP back. If you know what I mean. Like I don't know how to explain it properly, but like mid jump, you'd be TPing backwards, so they still hear the TP, and you instantly be retake A, and then you'd be strong C instantly. So the first three rounds, let's say you're fighting A with the same city utility, and then their killjoy would be like, after hearing all that, it'd be like, oh, they're strong A, and then they come speed up C into the stack. So yeah, please comment and share, and tell me if you want me to make a video or anything else.